All right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with.
My proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics, in collaboration with Fourth Wall Production, proudly brings to you the 51st episode of the Four Tales podcast. I'm your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is a plum purveyor of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick, and together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and other programs, and if you are listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger and better audience. What's up, man?
All of that.
Yeah.
What's going on? I can never get this dang on thing right. I'm trying to be part of the Scully crew. But I can never get this thing to look quite right on my head. I don't know why.
If you had hair, it might help.
No, that's the whole point. Like, I don't have any hair, so you put the Scully on, put the beanie on, but the purple, I don't know. It just doesn't look right on me. So,
all right. Well, I want to bring up something that we were talking about off air. 1996 was the first episode of Pokemon, so we're coming up on 30 years of Pokemon in 2026.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Pokemon is...
There's 923 Pokemon right now.
Oh, nice. I wonder who's going to be the 1,000th Pokemon.
And we're showcasing Danny's gold Pikachu card that his kid gave him, which is why we brought up Pokemon.
Yes, my son gave me... I guess there's the new gold cards that are out.
Okay.
And, he knows I love Pikachu. He knows Pikachu is my favorite Pokemon. Pikachu is the Smash Bros. Character that I always play with and destroy folks. So,
Pikachu is a trash Pokemon.
Anytime they get Pikachu, they give them to me. They give me all the Pikachus and all the psychic Pokemon, the purple ones. They give me all the purple ones and all the Pikachus.
That tracks, actually.
Yeah.
That tracks.
My son actually made me a muscular Pikachu card.
What? Why Pikachu so sexy there, but I mean,
Pikachu's ripped.
I get that, but he looking like Jonathan Majors right there.
Terrible.
Okay, I seriously do want to get that workout program, whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he was ripped for Lovecraft Country, but you can tell he's really gotten into even better shit.
He's in shape now. Yeah. I don't know if I want to put my body through that kind of thing though. So, yeah. How you been doing, man? What you been up to? You enjoying?
I'm all right.
Enjoying the King so far this season?
No, we haven't even. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Hey, the Lakers haven't won a game either.
All right.
The Lakers haven't won a game either, but y'all were at least undefeated in preseason. That means something, right?
Yeah. Wait, ladies and gentlemen, what the hell? My team got all bad ACLs, Silva. Damn, man. Wow.
My ACL is fine. It's the hamstrings that.
No. He's talking about we got Christian McCaffrey.
Oh.
Kevin, it's not even 8 o'clock yet. Why you gotta be so rude?
McCaffrey's gonna do good for y'all, man. I ain't no joke. I think McCaffrey's gonna do really good for y'all, and I'm excited to root for him and not the 49ers.
Okay. Why can't you love my 49ers?
I hope he gets 300 yards a game and y'all lose every time.
Anyways, Tempest Law says, hope both of you have a great week. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Before we get them on, Kevin says, damn, you root for nothing but bad teams. This is correct. Okay.
I do love an underdog.
Okay, I'm going to be team spoiler on this, though. I actually was a Lakers fan for most of the 80s. Mostly I was a Magic Johnson fan. Yeah. I loved Magic Johnson and his game. And then the 90s came around and I was like, Sacramento's right here. Kings are right here. Why am I not supporting my local team?
Yeah, support the local team. That's how I am with Charlotte and the Hornets. Exactly. They're literally 2 hours away, but they're usually terrible.
Love Jocks. Bro, I want to donate. I don't know what you want to donate, but if you want to, you can go to our website, fourtailspodcast.com. If you want to give us some money, there is an option there to buy coffee and help support us.
Absolutely. But we have two wonderful guests on today, right? We got the tag team duo.
Back again. Check it.
Tag team back again. Coming in, and they have a project. If you want to donate to something, you can donate to them also. You want to bring them on? You ready to bring them on?
Yeah. All right. So who we have on today is the amazing Moana McAdams and the originator of all things, Ryan Robinson. What's going on, everybody?
What up? What up?
The originator.
What's going on? Early.
You keep saying it's early. It's only 10 o'clock.
It's early.
It's 7 o'clock where Kyron is, so it's even earlier for him.
The sun is not even up yet here. Like, you can barely see the sun starting to peek through my window.
I see that, yeah.
My one
Ryan's like, it's still early.
Was that it had to be 10 o'clock in the morning. So, sometimes we do later ones for, like, if we have to accommodate for some guests, but usually 10 a.m.
It's all good.
Getting up and getting ready to go. But we appreciate y'all getting up nice and early and being here with us.
All right, so we want to get you guys familiar with our audience. So introduce yourselves officially. Tell us what you're working on. And I want to do something here because Danny recently said that for some reason he has never seen New Jack City. So I want you guys to tell us a movie. Tell us a movie that you have not seen that seems like everybody else has saw.
Oh, man.
I mean, Lord, Kyron, that's a heavy loaded question. I've seen a lot of movies.
I got one. Nope. I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
But I definitely want to check it out for sure.
All right.
Ryan's
like, I've seen every movie since 2005, so...
Ryan's pretty on it.
1987. This is hard.
I do the hard-hitting questions here.
Right off the bat, man. You're supposed to let them introduce themselves and then get the, let the audience start loving them first before you hit them with the hard-hitting questions.
I have not seen...
Javon says you've never seen Catwoman, which that's a good thing if you've never seen Catwoman. That movie was horrible.
What, Halle Berry?
Yeah.
I've seen like snippets of that. I refuse to watch that movie.
Good.
I refuse.
Terrible.
You know what? You could come back to that.
Yeah, we're going to come back to that because I've seen a lot of stuff.
Stumped him right off the break.
Off the rip. Off the rip.
Yeah, I've never seen Ryan that stumped on anything.
I've seen a lot of movies.
Okay, well, thanks for being on our show, you guys. Tell us about why you're here, what you're working on right now.
Well, I'm here to be with my friends is what I'm here to do. I find it interesting that we have like all of these folks in our community that like some of y'all, like I met Danny, but Kyron we haven't met yet. But I feel like, I know y'all. But we are here to promote our new Kickstarter. I am a children's book author is one of my hats that I wear. So that's the hat that I'm wearing today.
But the mini hats.
Yes. It's called The Adventures of Ikuā and Nohea, and we're currently on Kickstarter with our third book, The Journey to Ikuā. And so this book brings Pacific Islander culture to Kickstarter. It's about two kids who are kind of growing up in this island world, having just, innocent kid lives until one day they get swept away into a much bigger adventure. They discover some mystical creatures and their own role that they will soon discover in this world, that their family has been chosen to protect their people against an ancient enemy that they don't know anything about yet, but they're about to learn. They've heard it in their stories from their families, but in their minds, it was more like a make believe story that you tell to kids. But they're soon finding out that it's real, and they have a huge role to play in what's going to happen next.
Nice. And I appreciate you saying the name of the title, because there was no way I would be able to pronounce that properly.
Yes.
And I totally get it. Yeah, because when people see my book, Saw the Lightning Wielder, they're all like, Exob? How do you say that? So I totally get it.
Yes. I mean, that's one of the big things for me. Like, the children's book is the product, but I'm also trying to educate people and expose them to the Hawaiian language. A lot of people don't even know that there is one, and that there is a native, an ethnic native people that are Hawaiian, and not just you being from a state called Hawaii making you Hawaiian. And so there's a deeper message in everything that I do. It's just that's how I roll. Um, and I'm like I don't know, the teacher that you never had and didn't think you needed. But I try to do it in a fun way, and not just for kids, but for everybody. So in the book, it's also a bilingual book that is in English and Hawaiian. And all throughout the campaign and in all the products that I create, I try to create ways for folks to kind of get exposed to the language, practice it, hear it, and hopefully people will, dive in and want to learn more.
Now, was that something as a creator that you wanted to do with like most of your books? Like right off the bat, you said I wanted to introduce culture that people weren't aware of with all your books, or is that just?
Yeah, I mean, and I would say it's not just my books, it's like anything that I create, right? Like I also have my own clothing line, which has been a little bit on the back burner now just because I really want to get into this children's book series. But at the center of all of that is my culture and helping people to understand it. Um, because being from Hawaii, like no matter who comes, wherever you come from, whoever you are, one of the common themes that people say is that it's such a special place, and it's really the people that make it so welcoming. And so that's what I try to infuse into my book and my series, and help more people, um, experience and access it. When I was talking to Jeremy on the Story Monster, I was mentioning that like most people who can't afford to go to Hawaii, right? So you'll never get to experience it. And so for me, as someone, one of probably the fewer people that have left Hawaii and created a life elsewhere, I'm still very rooted, back in the islands, and doing the books and my clothing line. All of those things are ways for me to stay connected. And so this is, in my view, just another way for me to help people um, go to Hawaii without actually having to pay the $1,000 plus ticket to be out there and share, the wonderful things that I love about our culture. Yeah.
I love that. And something you said earlier about educating. So one thing I love about social media and all these different platforms, whether it's YouTube or now TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is that you can see things that you can learn about things that you may not have even known you were interested in before.
Right.
TikTok is like ground zero for learning interesting things that you never even thought of. Whether it's how to cook an egg in a different way, or or about an island that you never even knew existed, or something like that. So I think that's one of the great things about technology today, is that you can kind of learn about things that like you said, I don't have to be able to spend that $1,000 to go. I can learn a little bit, through my phone or through my laptop, and then don't be messing up eggs. And then you know, if I when I do want to actually go, now that like one of the questions I wanted to ask you is like, what is one of the things that, if people want to get to know that your culture, like if I do finally get to take that trip to Hawaii, what's something that I would have to do? What's something that I absolutely should do that the normal tourist isn't going to think of?
Um, Oh, that's an interesting question because it really depends on which island you go to. Every island has something special about it. And I try to incorporate that into our book too. But so like a lot of people probably have known and have heard of Waikiki because of Elvis or other commercial crap that's out there. But like so for somebody who's going to that island would be Oahu, and this the capital or the city of Hawaii is Honolulu, and that's that island. But my main thing there would be don't stay in Waikiki. Like you can go there and do the touristy things, whatever. But if you are interested in really appreciating the culture and the people, go out into the other parts of the island. I would definitely
respectfully go out into the other cultures.
Yes, absolutely respectfully. I'm glad you brought that up, Kyron, because the things that I've heard from people who are not respectful is the way they get treated when they come to Hawaii. And my thing that I always say is like, welcome to the people of color and how we're treated every single day. But if you go in there with respect, like you will be, it'll be reflected right back to you. And so like if you're going to that island, I would definitely recommend the Polynesian Cultural Center. That is like one of my favorite things, even as a local. It's a tourist attraction for sure, but it exposes you to like a lot of different Pacific Islander cultures, not just Hawaiian. They have like Fijian, Samoan, Tongan, all these different cultures. And so that's a great experience to have this amazing night show, which is really, really fun. And no matter what island you're on, you should definitely try out the local foods. That's like one of the things that I miss the absolute most is the foods. It is a great place because it's a mixing pot of diverse cultures. There's like, foods from different cultures, but then also like mashups of, taking different elements of two different cultures and putting it together and creating like our own dishes and things like that. So, yeah, definitely. And then if you go out to like, I always recommend like craft fairs and markets and things like that because that's where the locally owned businesses show up. Just like like same problems with us, right? Like a lot of these big shows we would love to go to, it gets you a lot of traffic, but for the small business, it's not always economical, right? And so I'm always looking for like the local craft fairs and smaller events where you can really engage with the people who are there.
I love it.
And help the business, most importantly.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all about traveling for food. My wife loves to travel, and she even worked for American Airlines for a while so that we could fly to places.
Oh, nice.
And my number one motivation is always the food. Wherever the food is, I'm trying to try it. No matter what. So I'm down for that.
Yes,
absolutely.
Right
yeah,
now,
I definitely plan my trip home around food. Like, how many meals do I have, and how many places can I fit in that in that time?
Now, Danny just sent me a picture. I guess he wants me to share this. I don't know, but Danny wanted to know if this is you, Moana. Let me see if I can bring it up
this
here.
Is gonna be awesome. Is it me? I don't know.
I saw it on the Kickstarter page, and I was like, "Did they base this character on Moana?" I like it. It's dope.
Which is so funny. No, yeah. This is actually out of Midjourney. This is AI art. And so I was looking for content. Yeah, it's actually really good. I was like, okay. And so yeah, like in our book, I really want to highlight the women warriors. In Hawaiian, we call it the mana wahine. But in indigenous culture, like the women have always played a big role in leading, their people and taking care of the community. And so I wanted to bring this to the forefront because a lot of, even in our own Hawaiian culture, is really focused on the males or the kane and the male warriors. And they're all very important, right? But like, I just don't want women to be missing from the picture because in our stories, which are not always written down, the women also play a prominent role. So not necessarily putting one ahead of the other, but just showing like the yin to the yang, like both are needed for a healthy, functioning society. And I was just really surprised that this one came out pretty accurate. Even one of my sister's friends was like, "Is that your sister?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, the AI did a amazing job. I don't know."
Yeah, that Mid-Journey thing, it's pretty cool, but I don't think AI art is at a point where it can do what a traditional artist can
No,
do, even with all the, and they do come up with some great concepts. Kyron was sending me stuff a few weeks ago. From, was it Mid-Journey you were using, or was it the I think
It might have
whichever one.
been Night Cafe or
Might have been,
Wonder.
yeah.
I've been
Um,
using AI art as character design tool and honestly as a layout tool for the book I'm working on with Danny at times where I'm just stuck on what something should look like. I'll just send it into AI and just to get an overview of what I think it should be.
yeah.
I don't feel like it's at this point something that you can replace an actual artist with, but honestly, 5-10 years from now, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of people using AI for just general art.
hmm I've heard that it's slowed down a lot now that they're starting to make people pay for it, though. Uh, what Ryan? What do you think about the AI art movement that's going on these days? Or have you gotten into it all? Or I see Javon says it's stealing. So I haven't heard that perspective, but I'm sure Javon will give me an earload in the DMs later.
we could talk about that in another show. I have an argument for that, but go ahead.
AI art. AI art is just AI art. It will never be anything essential to what an artist can do.
There you go.
AI art is only used for me conceptually if you want to find concepts for what you want your project to look like, but essentially it would never be something that you can use traditionally for anything, to be honest. Anything for comic books, paintings, to drafting, or even conceptual design or graphic design, it would never be used, unfortunately. So it's just another tool for people to essentially want what they want their project to look like. But if it's going to be used anything other than that, I can't see it as anything else. To be honest, because artists have visions that artificial intelligence can never produce.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'll kind of put it in the lane with like stock art, or
something like
drawing.
Pinterest,
Yeah,
anything of
yeah,
that
like
nature.
something like that.
Yeah,
Like if
exactly.
a search engine for a concept for what you would like. If I wanted to look up
Exactly.
a samurai warrior on iStock, or or in Vaco or whatever, I
Good
kind
for
of
visual reference, but other
Yep.
than that, it's not used for anything else.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point because even before, like for me, that's how I use it, right? Like to kind of put into vision something beyond stick figures, which is what I can do. But like I am really respectful of the art form, and so before I even like showed them to Ryan, I'm like, okay, I'm just showing you like what I'm trying to convey. Please don't think that like I'm gonna take this AI art and put it in the book. That's not my intent. It's just more of like helping him understand the feeling. Because I know, I mean, artists like anybody that's passionate about their craft, like you don't want to offend them, right? Like so that was a big thing with me. I was
You
like,
do not
are we
want to
cool?
offend your artists. I definitely did never want to offend my artists.
So,
Like, that's my
talking about artists and writers, how did the two of you guys end up collaborating initially? Like, how did you guys meet and get together as a team like that?
That's all through Mike. I met Moana through Michael Watson.
It always leads back to Michael Watson.
Everything leads back to
Yeah,
Mike.
This is 7 degrees of Michael Watson's what it is.
But we were on the show together, and we just kind of like hit it off. And then like Moana was talking about a book, and I was talking about, well, I was going to do a children's book back in the day with another person, but it fell through. It was about like I was doing all these designs and stuff, and it just didn't work out. It kind of like just ghosted. And then I was like, well, there, I'm done with that. But then she already had a published book out called The Adventures of Nicole and Nohea, Fishing Day with Papa Rat. And I was just like, that's awesome. And then she was talking about doing another book. And I'm like, that's cool. And then I just started messing around. And then I sent her something one day, like just randomly. And next thing I know, I'm just sending more stuff and sending more stuff and sending more stuff. And then she's sending me back ideas and notes and scripts. And so I'm like, are we making a book right now? We're making a book. And that's essentially how it started. And we just start dropping stuff online, like little nuggets here and there. And then it just happened. So it just literally happened. Yeah.
That's so much better than the way I usually, approach artists, is with begging and pleading for them to work with me. So
you never begged for me to work with you.
I did for years. I did. You just didn't notice it because I was sly about it. You gotta be sly.
My wife has always told me I'm not good with subtlety, so I guess so. All right, we do have a question. Vicinia asks, what are some personal themes from your life that show up in your books?
Oh, wow. So there's a lot of themes that show up in the books, but I try to put like at least one or two in each one. The first one is very much about, it was a love letter to my father who passed away essentially, but the core value of that one was like kindness and being observant of your environment and understanding that seeing people in a particular circumstance doesn't mean that that's their end outcome and that they can't overcome a difficult situation. The second one is really about fun and bravery and courage, especially when life hits you with a curveball and you're like, what the hell is going on right now? Being able to like regroup and like lean on the people around you, lean on your friends and the people who, really care about your success and you as a person, and using them to kind of restore your own belief in yourself and overcome something hard. And then the third one is like, holy shit, I might be bigger than what I am. It's really about discovery and like embracing your inner power and your identity and having the confidence that that is enough, and also joining forces with your friends and learning from the people who came before you, to help you on your own journey, and fulfilling your own destiny or vision or dream that you have for yourself.
The mic drop.
I was gonna say, is that the mic drop right there?
What about you, Ryan? What do you think the themes are? Because you're the artist, though.
For me, like creating Moana's vision has been just the most highlight of everything. In book 2, I needed to keep it graphically kind of flat because the original book was graphically done, so I didn't want to stray too much away from the original illustrator who did book 1. But my influences in book 2 with the dynamics and color range and all that in the book, and creating new ideas and new characters with the book. But book 3 is all me. There's nothing beyond that. It's all me. So there's a lot more texture, a lot more feeling, a lot more things that you can look at. Each page will be dynamic in its own way. So it's going to be a lot of me in book 3. There'll be a lot of change in book 3. That's the whole key element of book 3 is change, because our kids learn, grow, and change in this book completely. So it's kind of like the game changer book. So I'm looking really forward to that. But like Moana said, book 1 is a love letter to her father, but it's also a teaching moment. It teaches you a lesson in that book. Book 2 is about growth and bravery and leaning on your friends and discovering new things and what you're capable of. And book 3 is literally all about change. So it's looking really, really good. Really good right now. Looking good. So, but I mean, with the book and the art itself, like you can see the dynamics and tone. Book 3 is a big tonal shift. It's a different tone. It's a more, I wouldn't say serious. It's serious in nature, but it's fun at the same time. The fun will always be there, but it's very, very grounded in teaching you something, because our kids learn throughout this journey. When we say journey to Ikuā, it's literally a journey. This is a quest. This is fun. We're seeing things. There's new characters, but there's mischief along the way. So, yeah.
Okay. I like how. Oh, go ahead, John.
No, go ahead. I was just saying that sounds amazing.
Well, I like how you're also mentioning that there's new things on all these books. In both of you guys are also doing things outside of books. You're podcasting, and I've noticed creators are now using that as another avenue, basically to reach out to different creators and your audiences. So, how did you guys get into podcasting?
So for me, the podcasting part was probably like 6 months into COVID. You know, like it was still that time when we didn't know how long this was gonna last, how long, you know, if we were gonna have cons again, like what is this world gonna look like? And so I was just missing, you know, the community and being around our creatives. I always get inspired anytime I come back from a con. It's, you know, when my my battery is running low, coming back from a con is a great way to fill it up. So I was just looking for opportunities to reconnect. And I thought, you know, what better way than doing it through a podcast? And then another kind of struggle and challenge that I see, at least, is, you know, we have a lot of amazing talent in the indie community, but it's really hard for us to break into cons in terms of like, well, one, having a table because it's, you know, it requires economics. But then even when you get into there, getting into like good high visibility places, one of those being like on panels and things like that, and, you know, being able to talk about your book, because I know, you know, in doing this, like it's through the stories of, you know, creators and hearing more about their backgrounds is when people can really better connect with the book. Um, and give it a chance, especially when it's a brand new property that is not a mainstream thing that people understand. And so, like, for me, that's what the podcast was my attempt to do, is help to highlight, you know, the creatives that I've discovered, and really just help them come on a platform and grow their audience in a really organic way. For our podcast, we haven't done a lot of the digital ad stuff, and maybe it doesn't make my numbers great, but the community that we are building is it's actually very filtered in a good way, because this is people who have like sought it out intentionally and are really interested in the types of content that we create, versus somebody throwing something in there, you know, throwing something in front of you, and maybe you'll give it a chance for a while, but then it'll kind of fade away. So yeah, and everything that I do, I'm really about the community, because that's a big part of my culture, and, you know, why I'm here today and able to do everything that I'm doing right now. And this is just like another way for me to give back. I put that into everything that I touch. And so I love that.
No, Ryan, you don't want to add anything? He's
I mean,
like, that's all. She said everything.
I think for me, like, I did podcasting a while back in like late 2018, early 2019, before it was called R Square Drawing Forum. I did a creative corner. That didn't last long at all because like work was busy. So, and then I fell into Tony Clapper. Tony Clapper, the Clap, invited me to be a co-host on like 5-Star Fridays. I've been doing that ever since. So that's been really fun. And I mean, like, I've been guest on other people's shows, so that's been really a lot of fun. But in regards to podcasting, I'm just on 5-Star to 5-Star. Yeah. So that's it. Like, not a lot of podcasting experience. I mean, I did it for a short period of time, but it requires a lot of work, to be honest with you. It is a lot of work to maintain that functionality and that continuous schedule, being there, being active, being all that. So, and I was doing it like 3 times a week, and I thought that was just dumb to do. So
it's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
We all know this.
Yeah. And then it just stopped because the boy was tired.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta take a break,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this is the time of our show where we're gonna have to get some quick takes on. Are you ready with that, Danny?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. Now, if you're not familiar with our show, Quick Takes is a rapid fire. The man is laughing already. I'm scared. It's a rapid fire session. You're going to have 45 seconds. Dan's going to give you 5 questions. And let's go ahead and start that.
Quick takes. Leg all kicked up.
I love the picture.
The leg all kicked up like a princess. All right, so quick takes, and we're gonna do some of these questions I have specifically for one or the other, and then some of them I'll be for both of y'all. So we're gonna jump in right with the first one. This one is for both of y'all. We talked a little bit earlier about why culture is important in comics. I want to know if you could learn about one culture in comic book form, which culture would you want to learn about and why?
Amazon's powerful women.
African culture. Powerful in general.
Yes.
Though it's been done in Marvel, but I don't think it's been done extensively. I want a little bit more historical representation.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I add on to that? People, if you want to do something about Africa, can we get out of Egypt?
Yeah.
It seems like anytime everybody says, let's make something about powerful people in Africa, it's Egypt.
Yeah.
But anything outside of Egypt is the bad guys. Mm-hmm. So can we go outside? Can we go outside of Egypt, please?
You got a point there. You got a point. We got a point. Okay. All right. Question number two. I've been following Moana for a while, and recently with Ryan, I noticed that Moana sometimes had some stars from different industries that would kind of impact her viewership, and then but also she works with other creators who are building right alongside of her. So my question is about building horizontally. What do you think is more impactful, building horizontally or building vertically? Meaning reaching out to celebrities and and get them to endorse your stuff, or kind of building a solid foundation with the people who are kind of on your same level?
I think the foundation is foundational. It's very, very important because no matter how big you get, if you don't have a solid foundation, it can all come crumbling down. I believe in creating a great product, a strong product, something that you are really passionate about, because the people that you ultimately want to reach, if you're doing great quality work, they'll eventually find you. And so I try not to get into the headspace of I think a lot of that is trying to do the popularity contest or what can get attraction that way. That's never been the way I've approached things. I was never the popular person, even as a kid, and I didn't really care. I was always, doing the things that I wanted to do, and the people who would come around me is the folks that I want to be in my tribe anyway.
Absolutely. I love that. I grew up, into Pokemon like we were talking about, and I was one of the only ones in the school who was, so I always kind of felt like an outcast. So it always feels great finding people who enjoy the same things that you do, and like you said, I think they stick around for the long haul. This next question is for both of you. I've seen again Moana at comic book conventions. I want to say the first time I saw her at a show was Baltimore Comic-Con, and she had the motorcycles out there, was the big posters and banners. people out there. She had the bike helmets and everything. So, I thought that was an amazing hook. Like, I was like, I gotta go over here. Even if I didn't know y'all. I think you and your husband were there, right?
Yeah.
Even if I didn't know y'all, I would have to come and see y'all. And then for Ryan, he's got the amazing art. He's got a fresh style that is unmistakable when you see it. It's Ryan's art. So what would you say about having an amazing hook? Like, how is that helpful to you to quickly grab people's attention and bring them in?
You want to go first, Ryan?
I think for me, development, time, knowing your sources, what you like to do, and your key demographic. It's all about being who you're targeting and what your demographic is and what you like to do. For me, my art for digital art took a while to discover. I've been doing digital art since like 2016, and it was rough. I mean, you really have to find aesthetically what you want to please and then build your foundation around it. And then I really, like, down the road, continuously doing it every day, I found my niche, found where I wanted to be, where I wanted to go with that, and build my way up and still continue to build every day in regards to that. So I think for me, it's just about targeting what you want to do, where you want to be, and how you separate yourself from everybody else, because there's a lot of people who do the same stuff, but not a lot of people who are outside the box doing their own thing. There's only a few people that I can think of right now off the top of my head that are doing their own thing. So that's the key in my everything for me in that perspective.
Yeah, I would definitely reiterate what Ryan just said about being able to separate yourself. I mean, that's that's really what identity is, right? And what is it, and how can you communicate that to the people that you're trying to reach? I will say, from like the marketing hook perspective, that's definitely my husband's strength. Like, our whole Baltimore setup, that is like, we go all out for that one because that's our home con, and we really want to connect with the community here. Um, he pulls a lot of his inspiration from what works for wrestling, right? Like, we know, like, you don't have to be a great wrestler, but if you got a good gimmick, like, the people will love you and you'll be like, they'll be seeking you out, right? And so, like, that's like how he wants people to experience our, especially our booth at Baltimore, is like, you're coming through, the walkway, and like, here's my entrance, here I am. And hopefully, I think that conveys. And then the motorcycle part is a huge part of our comic book series. It revolves around a biker family, which comes from the true story of our lives. And so it's the balance of that showmanship, but also authenticity as well.
And it absolutely works. I'll just tell you that. Okay, so question number 4. I've recently talked to, I talk all the time about how, I'm kind of awkward on social media when it comes to, different, like Twitter, I'm terrible at. Instagram, I never know what to post on Instagram. Facebook, it's just my family is on here, so I try to stick to that. But when it came to TikTok, TikTok was really the platform for me. I'm impulsive, creatively, and I can make something fast and put it out there, and people seem to rock with it. So I'm kind of big on knowing which social media platform is for you. So my question is, if you could only use one social media platform for the rest of your career as a comic book in comics or children's stories, which platform would you use and why?
Well, if Facebook's algorithm wasn't annoying as hell, it would probably be that one. But I mean, does YouTube count? Because I think just like, or just a podcast. Like, the podcast for me is the one that works because I'm very much about stories. Like, I suck at like cold pitching, and like, I'm getting better, right? Like, but at conventions, oh man, it's still hard for me. But no matter what I do, people seem to resonate with me most when they see me like doing, interviews like this, or, hosting panels and things like that. So that's what I would say.
Absolutely. What about you, Ryan?
I'm old, Danny.
Ain't that old?
So, like, I don't usually I'm terrible at social media. Like, my Instagram has not probably been updated for like 3 years. I'm being real. My TikTok hasn't been updated probably for like 6 to 7 months now. So if it was going to be one platform, it'd probably be Facebook, to be honest with you. That's the only platform I primarily use. I don't use hardly anything else. I don't use Twitter. I don't use these Snapchats for the kids these days. What's another one? I don't know. So no, I'm old, Danny. I don't do any of that.
Facebook it is.
But TikTok, I mean, TikTok is great, essentially, to sell yourself. I think it's the best way to sell yourself in regards to getting your name out there, because everybody can literally see it. So if it would be other platform I would choose, it would probably be TikTok. I just don't have the patience for TikTok.
Yeah. But TikTok is so fast.
To do
you literally just make the video and post it. Like it's
me making a video would be 5 minutes for you, Danny. 2 hours for me, buddy.
You gotta go with your strengths.
Gotta go where the simplicity for something like me.
Absolutely. Okay, so last question. I usually take this last question as a tip for our other show, Top 5 Live. And I'm gonna get you both to do me a top 5 of your top 5 indie collaborations. So somebody that you haven't worked with in the indie community that you want to work with. Give me both your top 5s. And they don't have to be in any particular order, just 5 people that you haven't worked with that you would love to work with. Not me and Kyron because it's our show, but anybody else.
Well, wait. Why can't they pick me?
I would say unlikely.
Speak for yourself.
Make me feel good, damn it.
I would say that, but I'm already working for them currently right now. So, I haven't worked for Taurus Comics, so I haven't done anything for Kyron. I haven't done anything for Ace Play.
You got Lumberjacks though. You did Lumberjacks though, so.
Yeah, I did Lumberjacks. I would say Charlie McFly's joint, Spider Squirrel.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh geez. Probably something for Brian J. Lambert.
English Comics, that's a good.
And something for Concrete probably as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to see you do a Acolyte. That would look dope. I think that would be great. All right, what about you, Moana? Writing or designing characters or clothing line, any of that stuff? Who would you?
I want to see a stick figure comic from Moana now.
Bonus stretch goal. So I have to say, my boy Newton Lillavois would definitely be on there. Afua Richardson.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, Sebastian Jones with Niobe for sure. Man, this is a hard one. Roy Okupe, who does Malika and
absolutely, yeah.
Kids one is I'm blanking on the kids one. And then I would say also TJ Sterling, Great Comics. He and I have been friends for a while.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, just haven't had
TJ.
Yeah.
I would definitely do something for TJ.
What's his name? You just said his name and it's blanking on me. From Stranger Comics. He's another one who has Sebastian has an amazing setup too. I want to say when they did Baltimore, they were close in proximity to y'all.
Yep.
So yeah, they have an amazing setup too, and they have cosplayers out there, you know.
Yeah.
And everything. So.
And Seb has an amazing pitch. Like, yeah. I'm just like, here, take all the monies.
Yeah, exactly. I try to stay away. Like, there's certain people that I have to stay away from.
Same.
Like, especially if it's a 3-day weekend, like I'll go multiple times with 5 people.
Yeah.
So thank you. That was Quick Takes. Quick Takes brought to you by Pikachu.
No.
Not Pikachu.
No.
I love it.
No. We've already talked about this. Nothing mainstream. It's got to be indie if you're gonna.
Oh, it's got to be
do
indie.
that.
Got to be indie. I don't know.
Okay, wait. This week's Quick Takes brought to us by Heat, because I know Javon is heated right now that no one has picked him. And I was thinking that too, like Javon's in the chat just seething that no one said his name. This is 2 weeks in a row that we did a top 5 collaborations and no one has said his name. So Javon is heated.
We're gonna get you. I already collaborated with Javon, so I can't. We already got something. So,
right. So we did have another. We do have a question from Javon. Moana, are you going to be at Baltimore Comic Con this weekend or next weekend?
So we're not vending this year. I might go just to, like walk around, hang out, see what everybody's doing. But yeah, we decided not to go this year. We went last year and it was lackluster, I would say. And part of it was the logistics outside of the convention center. They had folks waiting out there for like hours because they only had one person doing the COVID screening thing. And I'm like, see, no, you're pissing off the attendees, and the vendors are sitting there like, where is everybody? So yeah, we decided to give it another year off. Sorry.
All right.
Yep, if we do go, I'll stop by, Javon, for sure.
I'm assuming this is for Ryan, because she put this when Ryan was talking. Post your TikTok videos on Instagram and as Reels. So you didn't update your Instagram, so there you go. Yeah. Ryan's like, all right. I also want to mention, Ryan, I'm older than you, and I think Moana and I are the same age.
Probably.
So you can't be sitting there talking about you're old and you're not doing these things. No,
I'm old.
It don't count.
I don't see any gray in your beard like I got.
There is. I say I'm just far away. There is. There is. Right. Trust and believe. There is.
There is, but it's not that much.
All right. Well, this has been fun, you guys. Before we let you go, we want to make sure everybody checks out your work. So where can we check out your books, buy your stuff, check out your social medias? Where's the best place to reach you?
So our Kickstarter is live now, and it's scrolling on the thing. But if you want a faster link, moanatheauthor.com will take you right back to that link. We're live till November 11th, but I really want to hit before because I'm actually going to be out of the country the last week, and I'm kind of stressing out about that. You can find the Moana Nui podcast every Thursday here on the Agents of Geekdom at 7 and 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On Instagram at The Real Life Moana. On Facebook, Moana McAdams and the Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea.
All right. Ryan, what about you?
Facebook, Ryan Robinson. TikTok, The Art of Ryan Robinson. And you can find me at 5 Star Fridays on the Agent of Geekdom Network. And at MoanaTheAuthor.com for the Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea, Journey to Ikuā. Currently, right now, running till November 11th.
Yep.
All right. And Danny?
If you're looking for me, you can find us on our website, fourthwallpros.com. If you want to check out Ace Blade on social media, it's at the Ace Blade on all social media accounts. Kyron, where can people find you?
You can find my work at tauruscomics.com. If you want to check out any of my things on social media, check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, what was the other one? Tumblr, all Taurus Comics. I know. But if this is your first time checking out the Four Tales podcast and you want to maybe go back and listen to some other episodes, you can do that by going to fourtalespodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast.com. And you can check out some of our past episodes. If you want to, you can support us by giving us a coffee or buying some of our merchandise that helps support our podcast. But please come back next week where we are going to have Sean Barbour on. We're going to talk about his books, Belial, and the book I worked on with him, I Drive for Cerber, which is really fun, so I hope you guys check that out. I don't know who this person is, but good morning to you. But until next time, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
Bye.